friends, welcome to our first show on ACCTV. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Chloe.
We did a bunch of interviews last week.
The first one is Blaine Sisson in his lemon juice interview. Basically, he asked 2 athletes at the high school a question, and whoever got it wrong or didn't answer fast enough had to take a shot of lemon juice.
Hey, I'm Blaine Sisson. Today I have Andrew Gillihan and Catherine Blake with me. Today we'll be doing Mount Carmel trivia. The loser of each question will take a drink of lemon juice. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
All right. The first question is, how many state championships has the football team won?
1.
Correct. You gotta do it.
It's so bad.
All right, refill. Okay.
That's not very much.
Who was the principal at MCHS before Mr. Shelby?
Jake Newkirk.
Correct. Give that to Drew. We all good over there?
Yep.
All right. Who is the girls' all-time leading scorer in basketball?
Oh, I got it first. Tyra Buss.
Correct. Question number 4. Who is the superintendent before Dr. Blyer?
Tim Buss.
Correct.
I almost drank it.
All right, they're starting to get harder as we go. All right. How many years has girls soccer been at MCHS?
3.
Incorrect.
Josh, it's happening? Okay. 6?
Catherine's the closest. The answer's 7. 7 years.
I was going to go with 7.
How are you guys feeling over there? Are you good?
Great.
I'm going to need some gum after this.
How many regional championships has the girls' volleyball team won?
12?
13.
Drew got it. 13. Carmel High School, which teacher who teaches math has been there the longest?
Mrs. Beth?
Correct. What year did the Aces get their nickname?
Nickname of
As
what?
in, like, the Aces.
Oh.
1906.
Okay, let's hear your answer, Catherine.
1898.
1915. Drew was the closest.
There we go.
At MCHS, which football coach has won the most career games?
Coach Hart.
Correct.
Okay. Darren Beach.
Right.
Oh, there
Wow.
you
So you got you at your own sport. Last question. All right.
go. Here, how about whoever doesn't get this one has to take 2.
All right. Whoever doesn't get it takes 2, okay? This is a trick question. How many girls are on the volleyball court at once?
12.
Correct.
Yeah.
Drew, hey, you got to fill that all the way up. Yeah, take 2.
There we go. All the way up?
Yeah, all the way up.
Oh, no. All right, that's good.
Yeah. We'll
Close
see.
enough.
Oh, no.
See it.
Next up, we have Evan's interview with the music department at MCHS about their upcoming competition.
So if you would like to introduce yourself.
Okay, hi, my name is Macy Mandrell. I am a senior this year at Mount Carmel High School and am the drum major for the Marching Aces.
Now, why did you want to become a drum major yourself?
I have always wanted to be a drum major after 4 years of going through band. I really like being in a leadership position and working with the students to better their musicality and their marching and just being that person that they can trust and rely on whenever they need help with anything that comes to band.
Since you guys have a competition this Saturday, how do you guys think you are going to do?
I hope to do really well and be successful. We are a Class 1A for this competition in Edwardsville. We're really excited. We are working double time really hard this week to prepare for this competition. I hope that we can sweep all of our caption awards and win at least our class.
Who, in your opinion, would you say is the most hard-working section?
That's a hard one. There's a couple that stick out to me. One would be drumline, just because they have to carry around their 50-pound drum on their body at all times, and also march their whole show and go up and down the stadium. They have sectionals often throughout the week, and they just really work hard to be the best of their craft. Also, I would say the low brass members, because their instruments are also very heavy and they have some of the most important parts of their music to play. And it's just, I think that they are really hard workers and they strive to be the best and help the band sound the best.
What would you say to somebody who would want to join band but doesn't want to have to try and deal with the time management side of it?
I would tell that person it's a lot. It has a lot of long hours and hard practices and band camps in the summer, but it is just so ultimately worth it. Just having to compete and play at football games and basketball games, it is just such a fun time, and you get to make lots of new friends in our close band community. All of the competitions and the art of performing can just give you such a rush of good feelings and excitement, and it is just something that you've never experienced before, and I definitely recommend you would try it.
Is there anything else you would like to tell us before we end this?
Just that band is a really hard working group of people. We try to be positive kids in our school and in our community. We really, truly, and genuinely care for one another as a whole, and we just truly love to perform and make music together on a daily.
And when are the competitions that are coming up? Before I figured we'd ask this.
We have our first competition this Saturday in Edwardsville, and then our competition season ranges from the rest of September and through the middle of October. We will attend Newton and Danville and Effingham, and also a college competition at Eastern University.
All right. Thank you very much for your input.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Would you care to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Mrs. Mandrell. I am the band and choir director at Mount Carmel High School.
Why did you want to become the band director of this school?
Well, I went to high school here, and my junior year, a new band director came to town, and his name was Michael Flanagan. He kind of changed the whole ball game, and once I got involved with the high school marching band, I kind of fell in love with it, and I thought, what a better way to spend my day every day than to do this for my job. So,
how hard would you say it is to be a marching band director type stuff?
there are challenges. Marching band season is usually starts in the summer, and it's super hot and miserable, and then we march all the way through the fall when it's beautiful, and then usually finish with playoff football games when it's snowing. So there are challenges, but it's also very rewarding too.
On the note of the hardest, what section do you think works the hardest?
Oh, that's a really hard one. As far as putting in time, probably the two sections that put in the most time are the drum line and the color guard, because they have rehearsal every day with the band, but then they also rehearse twice a week in the evening, so they put in a lot of time that's extra.
If someone was trying to get into marching band but didn't really want to, how would you try to convince them to do it?
Well, something that I would just say is that if somebody wants to participate in marching band, there's always a place for them. We can figure anything out, and so if someone is willing, then a lot of times I'll open up the opportunity for someone to be what we call a marching band crew, which is kind of like being a roadie with the marching band, helping with moving equipment and loading and unloading and things like that. But there's always a place for everybody.
I hear you guys have a competition this Saturday. How do you think you're going to do?
I hope we're going to win. We've worked really hard. We're super competitive, and we've spent extra rehearsals this week getting super ready and just making sure that our game is we're ready, and everything that we do is clean on the field. and our music sounds good, and our feet look good. So we're really hoping for big things this weekend.
And on the final note, is there anything you would like to advertise wise?
Well, advertise, I would just say that the marching band is always doing fundraisers, right now we're raising funds for the students to go to New York City in the spring. So lots of kids are carrying around hog raffle tickets right now. So that's what we're doing right now. So if you can help support, that would be a great way to do it.
All right, and we are done. If you would like to state your name, please.
My name is Wyatt Aki. I am currently one of the drum majors for the Mount Carmel High School marching band.
Now, why did you want to become a drum major?
Well, being a drum major is a leadership position, which I'm always interested in, as I just feel like I thrive in leadership positions like that. Not to mention I enjoy conducting a lot as well. So, yeah.
What would you say on the band thing? Who is the most hard-working section?
That's a really tough one. Years past I could probably tell you, but all of our sections this year are working really hard to make this show one of the best we've had here. So,
how do you guys think you are going to fare in this week's competition?
This week I think we're going to do really good. We have some scouting videos of our competition, and they kind of changed the way the class structures are re-ranked, but I think between our music and our footwork, I think we're going to do really well.
How do you balance being in football and being in band?
It's tough, you can't really be everywhere at once. It takes a lot of communication and a lot of hard work. It's a lot of putting in the extra time to make sure everybody knows where I'm going to be when I need to be where. It's a lot of work, but it's definitely possible, so.
What would you tell someone that is in football that would also want to join band, or just in general?
Don't really be afraid to take that step. Just get out there, get talking to people. People like me or Matthias Garrison who have a little bit of experience doing both. It's difficult, especially if you want to be in a leadership position like mine, but it's possible. Just don't be afraid to do what you love. If you want to do both, I say try and do both and just work from there.
Do you have any advertisements you would like to advertise?
Advertise?
Mm-hmm.
Not that I can think of.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to say before we end?
I'm very hopeful for our marching season this year. I think our show is probably one of the best that I've ever gotten to be included in. Which is saying a lot coming off of such a good show last year as well. But from where we're looking now, I think we're looking to have a really good marching year this year. So.
All right, and we are done.
We are so excited to have the new freshman class at our school. Let's take a look at the interview our team did with the new high schoolers and their teachers.
Here with me. What's your name? Sky. What's one thing you're looking forward to for freshman year?
Christmas break. What's your name?
My name's Ryan Downey,
Okay, what grade are you in?
freshman,
And what is one thing you're excited for freshman year?
taking ag.
Taking ag?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Coach Simmons.
What do you teach here?
I teach PE and driver's education.
And what's one thing you're looking forward to teaching the freshmen this year?
How to safely drive and follow all the rules of the road.
Okay, what's your name?
Mrs. Henniger,
Okay, and what grade do you teach?
freshman English.
Okay, and then what's one thing you're looking forward to teaching the freshmen this year?
How to write.
Okay, what's your name?
Senora Guard,
And what grades do you teach?
9, 10, 11, 12. 9 through 12.
And what are you most excited about teaching the freshmen?
To behave themselves and stop talking so much.
What's your guys' name? Layla. Austin. And what grade are you in? Freshman. Freshman. What's one thing you're looking forward to for freshman year? Sports. The end of it.
Last, Sydney did some interviews at the volleyball game last night. Let's see how the girls did.
What's your name?
Sam Strockmeyer.
What grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore.
What's your favorite snack to eat at volleyball game?
Probably a Snickers.
What's your name? Emma. What grade are you in? Sophomore. How many volleyball players can be on the court? Like from one team? Yes. 6? 6? What's your name?
My name is Zay.
What grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore.
What's your favorite snack to eat at a volleyball game?
I'd probably say Reese's or Dr. Pepper.
Reese's or Dr. Pepper. What's your name?
Trace.
What grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore.
How many volleyball players can there be on the court at one time?
6.
Good job.
Good job.
What's your name?
Anastasia.
What grade are you in?
10.
How are you enjoying the season so far?
It's going pretty good, pretty slow, but I'm enjoying it.
What's your favorite position to play on the court?
Right side, for sure.
What are your names?
Nora Jones, Taylor Cusick.
What grade are you guys in?
We're seniors. Seniors.
What position do you guys play?
Right side. Right side.
How long have you guys played volleyball?
Since 5th grade. 5th grade, so 8 years.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much for tuning into ACES TV this week. See you next week.